digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Welcome back to THFC Till We Die, home of Tottenham, past, present, and the exciting future, of course, under Robert De Zerbi, the man leading us to glory. And of course, this is the Transfer Rumours show, and we have players for you tonight. But anyway, welcome back to THFC Till We Die, where every summer transfer window starts with this is the year Tottenham mean business. Week 1, Spurs interested. Week 2, just week 2. Talks progressing. Week 3, personal terms agreed. Week 4, here we go. So we're all getting excited. And then suddenly the player's holding up a Bayern Munich shirt while Vinay is still talking over 2 Tesco meal deal and a packet of Watsits. Meanwhile, on the other side of London, Arsenal have signed 14 players, Chelsea have bought another small country, and Spurs fans are sitting refreshing for a bit of Romano like it's a stock market. But this summer feels different, apparently. New targets, new rumours, new panic, same blood pressure. Will Tottenham finally back the manager, or will Vinay cook? Or are we about to spend 8 weeks tracking Japanese centre-back nobody's even seen on YouTube highlights at 2 a.m.? So buckle up, people, because the Tottenham Hotspur transfer window is officially open. Well, will be officially open on June the 14th. And already the chaos has already begun. So there you go. That is the latest. Oh, I do love them. I just put in what I want into chat GTB, and it comes out with some bangers. It really does. It really comes out with some bangers. It certainly does. But how are we all this evening? Let's welcome a few people in. Big up to Rodney Martin, up the Spurs. Big up Rodney too. Big up John 68. Big up Dermo. Panel and chat. Coys. Yeah, Billy should be joining me tonight. I think he's just running a few minutes late. Guys, if you can do me a favor, I'm trying to help out a mate of mine. Can you please get over to JSY Talks Football and just hit a sub on there, please, if you can. Do it here first, then go over there. They're really a good bunch of people. Enjoyed the show I did with them yesterday with me and Nick on the North London Talks Football podcast. If you haven't seen it, go and give it a look. It was a laugh. But yeah, great gang. Both Leeds fans. I think Jess is a Leeds and Liverpool fan. But yeah, looking forward to doing more stuff with them over the next couple of seasons. Big up to Tequila, says, I wonder what comedy players he has for us tonight. Throw it away, Domo. Yeah, I'll try. Big up Spurs 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Big up to you. Big up to Kick break as well. Big up Dermot to you. Week 5, he signs for Arsenal. Yep, so true. Big up to Robert Robert Lomax, Dermo High. Big up to Robert. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. No Lang will F it up. Yeah, he will do. And also, if Lang is still here in the summer, we're only signing more bums, fan. Well, we have to see what happens. But it is interesting, isn't it? That as a transfer window goes, and the rumours are starting out early. And of course, the rumours have, you know, we've got a couple of free agents already signed up if we stay in the Premier League. Andy Robertson from Liverpool, left back, and then Sensini from Bournemouth. Well, apparently there was pictures today of Sensini at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, they were put on X. I don't know how true they are or not, but it did look he was at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club today. So maybe looking having a walk around the just seeing if our person we use is given anything. No, not yet. I will keep that. I will keep that open just in case there is any news breaks, guys. If you can also do me a favor as well, on the top of me going across is the channel sponsor, O'Connell Designs. Everything is there, what it's about. But also, if you do take an order with them, do put in the promo code THFC TID26 and you will get 10% off. Proud sponsor of the channel. Right, let's crack on with it and let's kick into gear. Right, this is the first bit of news. I had a lot dropped to me the other day. We've got Marcos Senseni. As I said, he was shown pictures at Tottenham today. Now, he was at Hotspur Way. Now, if it's true or not, we don't know. But there were the latest rumors that I've seen the pictures myself on X. I'm there. Now, he could have taken that picture anyway. It could have been AI. We just don't know, do we? But apparently he was at Tottenham today. Spurs remained interested in the Bournemouth defender, Marcos Sensini, with reports claiming personal terms have been verbally agreed. Liverpool also monitoring the situation and could attempt a hijack move. So there you go. So he could end up going to Tottenham or Liverpool. And to be fair, if you were a player and you got two options, you would really go to Liverpool, wouldn't you? But it's about, would you be first team requirements at Liverpool? Are you just part of the squad? Are you coming in to improve their defence, which I think has been Liverpool's undoing this season, if I'm being honest. I think Van Dijk's getting a bit older, and I think some of the defenders that haven't played too well. But for us, we desperately need him. I do know what. Saying that, right? Saying all of that, I think Tottenham is still an attractive option, right? We're a club with a magnificent history. We've got a stadium second to none. And I think under De Zerbi, we have a manager that will take us in the right direction. And it's all about, and this all boils down to the ownership backing the manager in the summer. And that's what it all boils down to. It's not, doesn't boil down to whatever. It's down to the right investment being put in. It's also down to the right players. Sorry, let me take that up there. It's down to the right players being moved in and moved out of the football club. I like, right. I sorry, I'm just doing something there. Sorry. Don't know what that looks a little bit. Oh, that's better. I look, we can all take the piss out of Tottenham, and it's easy to do at the moment for how we've been playing and how our transfer windows have gone by and how we've conducted business over the last 20 years, especially over the last few years, definitely. And it's easy to take the piss out of us because of the likes of Johan Lang and other people that have come in and not done their job correctly and wasted money. As Billy said on one stream, he spent over 700 million pound on players. And really, can you name me any good player? I would say the only players that are good probably were Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Porro, and Kulu when he's fit. James Madison when he's fit. We've bought good players, but it's having the right manager to mold this into a squad that's able to compete and able to move on. We couldn't do it under Ange. We couldn't do it under Conte. We couldn't do it under Mourinho. We did it under Pochettino for whatever reason. And I think also that had something to do with Paul Mitchell being in there and Paul Mitchell being allowed to work, being allowed to do his job. And I think this is going to be the most important summer of Tottenham's history, recent history. Look, we are going to stay up. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to stay up. There's no doubt in my mind that we can't survive, and we are going to survive. We are gonna do it by the skin of our teeth. And I think if last season wasn't a wake up call, which it should have been, this season should be a massive wake up call. But it won't be, and that is the issue we have. It won't be because these owners do not know what it means to go to the next level. Now, there's two scenarios here. There's a scenario where we give De Zerbi everything it works, and it works out, and we have a team play the Tottenham way, attacking but sensible football. Or there's a way that we don't give him what he wants, and within a month or two of the summer window, he's out the door, he walks out, and then Tottenham are back to square one again. We need players like Sensei to come in. We need these type of players because we have players like Romero who doesn't care. He may say he cares about the club, and I've had this argument with Dave Harris. I had it the other night. And it was a case of, he does care because he's called out the board. He's done. And I had this argument with Dave, even on the podcast the other day. We had a discussion about it. And I did say to him then, it's easier to call out the board than it is to put performances on the pitch, which means more to us fans than it does calling out the board on X. Yeah, big way. Yeah. So what? Why don't you do your talking on the pitch? And if you don't want to be here, then go away. Go to another club and go and pain them for the next 4 years. Because players are mercenaries. Players don't give a shit about clubs. Players don't care about who they're playing for. All they care about is the paycheck and the money they're getting in. And wherever they're playing for that club, they will get the badge and they would do this. So they need to move on to another club. They don't care. He doesn't care. So I think this is a major, major, major summer for Tottenham in lots of ways. And I think it's a summer that we can get it right. I do believe that. I'm very optimistic that we can. And there's going to be people in the chat disagreeing. There's people in the chat saying I'm talking shite. There's people in the chat going to say you don't know what you're talking about. If you want to be negative, be negative. That's your prerogative. That's how you want to be. Be negative. I can't. I'm sick of being negative. I'm just going to be positive and try to look at the good things and try to look ahead now. We've had enough of this season. And whatever I say, I'm usually wrong in what I say anyway. So it doesn't really matter what I say because I'm just a delusional idiot that talks Spurs and I just come across as being delusional and I don't really care. I'm going to be positive because I've had enough of being negative. I understand why fans are negative. I understand why fans are fed up. I understand why fans have had enough. I understand why fans have given up. I understand why fans have not moved on. Have given up in this season, and I get it. I do get it, but I'm just now starting from now. Look, let's get the season over with. We've got a decent manager in charge. We didn't play well. We played well against Brighton. We didn't play well against Wolves, and I'll admit that it wasn't a great game, but we got the win. We did play well against Villa, and I'm sick of hearing it was only a second Villa side. Still, you got to go out and win a football match. You still got to go out and get them 3 points, and which we did. And now I'm looking forward to the last few games where I know we're going to stay up. We're not going down. There's not a hell chance we're going down. West Ham are in the mud. They're going down. And we've got to look forward to see what the summer brings. Now, I'm hoping for a good summer window. I've been told by the people I use, and I've been told by the people that I'm in contact with that we're going to have a very busy summer. A very busy summer. Lots of ins and outs. And maybe that's what we need. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's the change we need. We need a lot of these players to go out, and we need new players to come in, and we need to get the players De Zerbi wants. So I do feel, um, that this is the crossroads, but I think we may be going down the right road at last. Now, however that may look, I don't know, but I do feel by the start of next season, we'll have players in there that want to play for us. We'll have a manager in there that will have us purring. And I don't think I don't think we will see us in this situation for a long time. I don't think we'll be back in this situation again. And I'm fully convinced with this manager. I'm fully behind him. I'm fully on board with it. And I had my reservations when he first came in, but he sort of won me over with the way he dealt with them. He's won me over with the way that he's dealt with the press conferences. He's won me over by the way that how he deals with the players. He's won me over that it's a manager we should have got in instead of Tudor. It was a manager we should have got in. We should have went out and got him. We sacked Tudor the same day he was sacked from Marseille. We should have gone when we sacked Thomas Frank. Let me rephrase that. When we sacked Thomas Frank, we should have got Tudor's De Zerbi same day when he was sacked from Marseille. Look, we chucked a lot of money at him, but I just like everything about him. I'm ready have been won over. So look, it's down to people what they think. I can't tell people what to think. I can't tell people how to support the club. I can't tell people how to support Tottenham. I'll support them the way I see it, and I will do the channel and the way I've always done it, and the way I feel I want to do it. And I can't tell anyone else. Everyone else has the opinion. Everybody else has the right to say you're wrong. This is how it is. And this is what makes football so good because everyone can have a different opinion, even about the club we love. And I get it. And it was even about these fans that wanted Tottenham relegate because it was going to change the board. I couldn't get on board with that, and I still can't get on board with that, and I never will get on board with that. And now they're all running around and saying, "Oh, we're going to stay up now." Well, what is it? Do you want to go down or do you want to stay up? It's up to you. You know, you can't pick one thing and then double back and change your mind. If you're big enough to come out and say, "I want us to go down because of X, Y, and Z," have the have the have the have the balls, I suppose, in a way to stand by that. Like Tequila did last year. Tequila had the balls to stand by. I don't like Ange Postecoglou because of X, Y, and Z. He had the balls to do that. He had the balls to stand up to everyone else and say, "This is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm going to double down, and I'm going to double down in it." And he was right to do that. And he got criticised, but he had the balls to stick by his principles. He had the balls to stick by what he thought. Now, I'm completely different to Tequila. Tequila is more logical. I'm more, as we've always joked on the channel, he's more Spock, I'm more Kirk, if you're a Trekkie. And we've always joked about it, but I admire him for it. I admire him for sticking by what he says. I admire him. He stuck by his balls. I admire him. He stuck by his principle of this is why I don't like this manager, and I'm going to stand by that. And I admire him for it because we had the right thing to say, and he thought it was the right road to go down, and I'm going to stand by that, and I'm going to stick by me. Yeah, and he was right. So all these people that are coming out and saying, "I want us relegate because of X, Y, and Z," are now coming out, "Oh, I don't want us relegate. Now we're staying up." Well, I have more respect for you if you actually stuck by your prince, if you stuck by what you said, and when you've come out and said, "I want us relegate because it's going to hopefully change the board, it's going to do this and do that." I think fair play to you for standing by that. But just because people are now doubling back because we've won 2 games in a row, they're all changing their minds. I mean, I said months ago this was going to the last game of the season. I've said months ago we were going to stay up by a point. I think Colin even clipped me saying it. And I still stand by that. I still stand by we're going to stay up, and I haven't changed my mind. Yeah, you're going to get frustrated with results. You're going to get frustrated with what's happening. You're going to get frustrated with everything. Probably it's been a tough season. It's not saying it's been tough 18 months. We've lost more than we've won. You can say, yeah, we won the Europa League, a major European trophy. Yeah, brilliant. That's the only bright spot I would say in over 18 months of doing watchalongs and shows following Tottenham for the last 18 months. Because every time they make a mistake, every time they make a judgment call, or every time they pick a manager or buy a player, it hasn't been the right player, hasn't been the right manager, or they haven't sacked the manager at the right time. And they come out with stupid stuff like the PR department come out at the worst times. They come out with the most stupid statements on X. So I think this is a major summer for everyone to take a reset and also to put together a plan to move forward and with De Zerbi and say, right, what do you want? Not what Lang wants. Lang should be sacked, by the way, straight away. And I don't understand why he hasn't. Vinay should be sacked too. I don't understand why they haven't. I understand if they're waiting to the end of the season to announce it, fair enough. But I do feel they should have been sacked, or an announcement should have been made a long time ago about their appointment, about them staying in their respective jobs. Um, and it's mind-boggling that they haven't been moved on, they haven't been sacked, they haven't been relieved of the duties because of the job they didn't do. They left the manager in there early in the season, not capable of doing the job he was hired to do. When you got a Paratici, right, saying to people, look, he is not capable of doing his job. He's not capable of training these players. The players are turning up late. The players don't respect him. The players are taking the piss out of him. He's walking around with an Arsenal mug, telling everyone that wants to hear that he was a big fan of the Invincibles and we're going to lose games. There was your first rocket. There was your first sort of warning signs. And of course, we all bought into it. I bought into it as well, thinking the change of manager would be good. He'd be tactically better. We'd be a bit more stable at the back and attacking. And we all looked what he did at Brentford. And we all looked what he did. And it was, and then you look at the summer window. We buy players for an Ange system. We didn't buy players for a Thomas Frank system. So already you're on the back foot because already the 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 players you're buying for that manager isn't the players that manager wants. Then you go into January, and at this point we're deep in not great form. We're struggling. We need players. We've got injuries. And what does normally a director of football go out? Right, I'm going to buy you two or three players in January. Let's go and spend a bit of money. Let's spend our way out of trouble. And we didn't. We didn't. And this is the failure of being a football director. He should have went out and said, right, even if even if you're going to get rid of Thomas Frank, you buy players for the club's philosophy. What's the club's philosophy? Is to dare is to do. The Tottenham way. And what's the Tottenham way? Attacking football. Push and run. It's as simple as anything. You get the ball, you pass it on to the next person. Arthur Rowe, former manager, won us the 2 league titles back to back in the late in 49 50 and 50 51 side that won the first division championship with push and run. He explained push and run easily. You get a ball, you hit it against the wall, and you then run to that ball. That's push and run. It's simple. It's not rocket science. And it's evolved over the years. And we've played many versions of that over the years. We played it under Pochettino when he was manager. We played the push and run modern version of it. We sort of played it a little bit on the ranch in the first 10 games. We've never really got back to that consistency of playing the way we should be playing. But it's also you have to buy the right players at the right time to fit the right system for the manager so he can implement what he's trying to do. And we've never done that. We didn't do it under Pochettino. We didn't do it under Harry Redknapp. We definitely didn't do it under Conte and Mourinho. We sort of did it on the ranch, but not really. Ange said in the second season, start this last season, the year we won the Europa League, he asked for certain players, but he said they ended up getting Solanke and 2 kids. Well, the 2 young Archie Gray and Bergville have turned out to be probably better players than some of the midfielders we've got in this squad. So I'm hoping the likes of Basuma and Sar's moved on. It's not a case of that they're going to be world beaters, but as De Zerbi said today in the press conference, it's about improving them, and because Ange probably played him in a lot of positions, the poor lad's a bit confused. So it's about taking him back to basics. You're going to be my CDM. This is what I'm going to do. You're in the specific job for a specific role, and this is what you can do for me. So it's about buying the players. It's about getting the right players in to fit that system. We know the likes of Romero is going to go out. More about that in a while. We know the likes of people who are after Van der Ven. More about that in a while. And Van der Ven's already come out and said, if Tottenham stay up, I will be happy to talk about signing a new contract with Tottenham, which is music to all our ears. We do want Mickey Van der Ven to stay. I want them to stay more than Romero, if I'm being honest. Tequila said, where am I going to go back to? And then we're going to go on with the players. I don't want to miss anyone's comment. Start there. What exactly is there to be positive about? If it's not negativity, it's something. I think. Look, to be fair, I think. Look, you can spend all your day being depressed and doom and gloom. I'm not that sort of person. Do you know? You can't spend. If you let Tottenham get to you and you let what's happening in the season get to you, then it's going to affect your life. It's going to affect how you feel. I think there's shoots of positivity. There's shoots of positivity with the way we're playing, the way De Zerbi's got into these players so quickly. I think I'm going to be who I am. I'm not going to change for you or anybody. I am who I am, and I'm not going to change for nobody. I'm seeing. Look, if you think that there's nothing to be positive about, that's how you feel. I can't change you how you feel. I can't tell you how to support the football club. You support it how you see fit. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell anyone how to do it. So, I can see positives for me personally. I can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Is it perfect? No. Does a lot have to change? Yes. Do we need to improve massively? Yes. But look, it's been a hard season. And look, if we can go into the summer by sort of playing well at the end of the season, maybe we can take that and bring it into next season. Look, I'm just trying to look at shoots here. Little shoots. Negativity and being real are not the same thing. Well, I am who I am. I'm gonna always be the fan I always have been. And I've everyone keeps saying to me, "Where's delusional Tron? Where's the person that was so positive?" Because I let it get to me, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to support the club how I've always supported the football club, in a positive attitude that we're going to win every game, we're going to beat everyone, and we're going to survive. And that's how I'm going to do it moving forward. I, I've let it affect me. I've let it change how I support. I've let it be, let it get to me a little bit. I'm not doing it anymore. We've played well in the last couple of games. I'm buzzing for that. I'm buzzing. I like De Zerbi. I'm enjoying his press conferences, and I'm excited. I am really, really excited. Uh, well, I don't know how you can describe a difference between negative and honesty. I think you just see the club through everyone sees the club through their own eyes, and you see it through your eyes, and I see it how I see it. So there's no difference. It's just how you see the football club. Manager is meaningless Spurs. We'll have to wait and see, Scott. We'll have to wait and see. If the board don't support the manager in the summer, he'll do a Conte and got yeah, Joe, I can agree with that 100%. Totally 100%. Kirk gets more very funny. Very funny. I like that. I never thought we would be world beaters on the front, but yeah, even you said it. You didn't think you've said it to me. You never thought it'd be as bad, and I never thought it'd be as bad as it got. Tequila. I really didn't. You don't care if Vidic stays or not, especially if he wants to go. Where's he said he wants to go? All you do is reading a lot of press nonsense that he wants to leave. Same with Romero. A lot of press nonsense. Not at one point has he come out and says, I want to leave in the summer. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. Big up Dermo, you're Tottenham legend. Your legacy is always great. Big up Brian. I'm not a legend, but thank you very much. You're very kind. Just who we are. Yeah. Fair enough. Good up, Scott. Canada. For Canada, we're going to support Canada in the World Cup. They better not let me down. Scott, I'll be doing my research over the weekend on Canada. Yeah, come on, Canada for the World Cup. That's who we're following. If you was a packet of crisps, you would be ready sorted. Not everyone's taste, but that's okay. Oh, cheers. That's true. That's me, Rhino. That's me. Rarely enjoy your YouTube videos, mate, and the amount of content you put out is also really good. Thanks a lot, Kev. I really appreciate that, buddy. It's really kind. Look, I love doing what I do. I do love doing YouTube. I love content creating. I love doing stuff on Spurs, doing a lot of stuff on the World Cup coming up in the summer, all the Newsbeat transfer shows will be back. We've got new graphics coming up. We've got new intros coming in for certain shows as well. So yeah, really, really, really looking forward to it. And thank you so much for the kind words. Really means a hell of a lot. Thank you so, so much. Somebody called me a legend once, and when I repeated it back to him, he said, "No, legend." Oh, that is such a dad joke, isn't it? Isn't it, David? That is such a dad joke. But you are a legend, bud. You are a legend. Big up to you, buddy. And ready salt is not my taste of crisp, but that's okay. Cheers, Rhino. Thanks for making me feel worse than I already felt. You know, I'm not prawn cocktail, salt and vinegar. You just had me ready salted. Thanks, Rhino. Thank you very much. Big up, bud. Big up, Bob. Hope you do it well. Right, I better go on because I'm on Man United gender tonight, so I better get my ass into gear. Um, right. So I said Michael Sense said Spurs remain interested. There was pictures of him taking the Hotspur away today. If Tottenham stay up, I can see this going through. But I'm more or less a little bit, probably 60% me. Yeah. Would you together? Very funny. Now, this is another player AC Milan play. Yusuf Fofana. Tottenham are reportedly exploring a move for the AC Milan midfielder, Yusuf Fofana, ahead of a summer rebuild under Roberto De Zerbi. So, yeah, this is one that to keep an eye on, I think, as well. But, yeah, we will wait and see. Now, today, De Zerbi said in his press conference that he would keep Paulinho. And I tell you exactly what he said because I think it's We have to take him for what he said, actually. So let me get there. Let me get the Palunior quote. Where is it? Where's Palunior quote? There we go. He said, would Johan Palhinha be someone you'd like to keep for next season? 100%. We have to start from this type of people more than players. We need reliable people, reliable players. Palhinha is one of the best as a player for sure, but as a guy, I want to see the player with the same passion, the same attitude, the same spirit, same personality, and we are lucky to have them. And I agree with that 100%. I did say earlier as well in the after the presser show that why I was so annoyed when we sold. Um, I was so annoyed when we loaned out and sold Højbjerg, and I would love him back at the club again. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but I think I'd like Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Palhinha with an Archie Gray and Bergville. There's your midfield. You get rid of Bissouma. You get rid of Papa Sarr as well, because I think Papa Sarr isn't this great midfielder everyone makes him out to be. Um, I just like he's the same sort of player as Højbjerg, but I think to bring Højbjerg in, I think it'd be absolutely. I wish we never got rid of him, and I really do mean that. I don't know, not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know that me saying that, but I really do appreciate. I really do love Højbjerg, and I wish he never left. Palhinha for me, he's becoming one of my favorite players. Really is. Would be Furo Puss if I was called ready sorted. I want to be chilly or something. Yeah. As an electrician, I worked in Walker's Crisp factory, and trust me, if you saw them being made, you wouldn't need some special equipment. Cheers, David. You put me off crisp for life now. Cheers. I would love, yeah, so would I. I would love Palhinha to stay here, Nick. Rhino, you're right. Absolutely. Oh yeah, you never liked Højbjerg. Look, right. Let me give you this then, Rhino. You have an option out of three midfielders to get right. You could keep Basuma and Sarr or buy Højbjerg. What would you do? And you can't say I won't have any of them. You got to pick one player. Who do you pick? Who thought Sarr was a great midfielder? People talking ready sorted. Sarr's ready sorted. Oh God, here we go. No, you can't. Oh, okay. You put none. No, you got to pick one. You got to pick one. Tequila, you can't pick none. You got to pick one. Um, and see, I think Højbjerg. I understand about Sarr. I understand about Suma, 100%. Understand a little bit surprised about Sarr, but I don't get it with Højbjerg. I don't get the hate he gets. It's like the hate Archie Gray gets and Bervo gets. I think it's not fair. I don't think it's warranted. I'm sorry, Højbjerg was the only one that actually played well under Mourinho, played well under Conte, and gave his all. Um, I think he was more professional than Basuma. Well, Basuma's an idiot anyway. And Papa Sarr, his game's gone from hot and cold for some reason. So we have to wait and see. Yeah, I would take Sarr from Palace, David, as well. I thought he was exceptional last night, actually, in their win over to reach the Conference League final. Thought it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I would too. 100%. I would take Wharton as well. That shot from Wharton, by the way. See, that's what you need to do. You need to go out and say, right, okay, we'll get Wharton. We'll give you 100 million. Take it or leave it. Absolutely spot on with that. Goalkeeper wise, Robbers Rufus from Sunderland. Goalkeeper Robin Rufus has emerged as a goalkeeper target for Tottenham if the club survives Premier League survival. Yeah, Anderson as well. That's a good shout, Tequila. That's a very good shout. Actually, Anderson, Ryan says Basuma. Ryan, yeah, I need to have a talk to you, lad. I need to have a talk with you, lad. I swear you're just being patronising there. Fine, out of those three, Pereira was the best out of the three. Fair enough. See, Tequila does have you see, I knew he was a Højbjerg fan. He was a private Højbjerg fan. I knew it. I knew it. I'll take Anderson all day long. See, I think you're wrong there, Tequila, right? Out of our midfield. You look at the midfield now under that played against Villa and played against Brighton, right? You look at Palunia, Bentancur, and Gallagher. That midfield worked. And Bentancur come back. Bentancur was a bigger miss to our midfield than a lot of people think he was. He was a far bigger miss. But I would take Anderson and Sarr definitely from Palace. Absolutely. None of us are better than that. I disagree. I disagree. I think you I think Bentancur's a far better player than people gave him for, and I think Paolini's a better player than people gave him credit for. And I think you're going to get to see the best of Gallagher now. I think you will under a proper preseason with De Zerbi, and he gets fit and gets really fit. I think you may see the Gallagher of Chelsea and Palace. I really do believe that. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, really. I think look, Anderson's a great player, but there's no you can say take Anderson, but what happens is players move to different clubs together and they don't work. They don't either work in the system or they don't settle at the football club or whatever. Buying a player is like getting a lucky dip. It may work. He may settle in and he may be fantastic. He may be a great signing. But buying the player is 50-50. It's either did I not I did see that, didn't he? Okay. But yeah, I get it. I do get it. I do get it. I understand. He is a good player, but could he bring that form to us? I hope he would. But as I said, it's 50 buying a player is 50-50 to get you don't know. How many players have we bought, right? We thought we're getting a really good player, and they haven't turned out to be that. They've turned out we've wasted money on them. But how many players have we bought that thought he's going to be useless, but he's turned into a legend? Transfers is like taking a lucky dip. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what, but I will grant you, Anderson is a better midfielder than Basuma, is a better midfielder than Babasar, but I don't I look, I don't think Palunia and Bentancur are what I like Basuma and Sarr level. I do feel they're above them, in my view. And I think coming back from injury, Bentancur's never been the same player since he came back from his injury. And I think it's taken him a long while to get back into the groove. But if you look at him in the midfield and the passing stats when Bentancur's there to when he's not there, they're night and day. I will do my research. That's given me an idea for a show, Tequilas, actually, to be fair. Um, I am going to do my stats on the midfielders we've got and the replacements. So I will get like Anderson and other players. I'm going to pit them together stat wise, and we'll see. That's give me a very very good idea for a video. Big up, Tequila. Thank you very much. Just got the brain talking. Well done. Give me Walton any day of the week. 2 day. Yeah, I agree with you, Rhino, 100%. I thought he's fantastic. That's not him, man. Star. Big up to Brian. Big up Dermo. I like Rufus, but do you know what? I do like Rufus as well. I do like Martinez from Villa, but I don't know if Martinez is a little bit more chaotic, I would say, a little bit more eccentric, that you don't know what he's going to do next. And I think also at Tottenham, we don't need this number one, number two. We need two goalkeepers. Find it out to be number one. And I think that would be Kingsley on one and whoever would bring in the second, to be fair. Nothing's 100%. Transfers bit, but Percy Anson wipes the floor without centre midfield. Yeah, no, that's look. You're right in saying he would wipe the floor. I get that, and I think he is a very, very good player. I'm not disagreeing with that. But would he work well in our midfield? If you were going to rebuild the midfield, then you would build the midfield around him. You build the midfield around Anderson. You don't just bring him in and plump him in the middle. You get rid of the midfielders, the centre midfielders, and you build the midfield around him. This rebuild has to be done properly. So I do agree with you there. He's a very, very good player. But if you're going to bring him in, you got to do it properly. You gotta build him. You got to build the right players around him that that fulfill his quality as a player, and also makes him tick as well. That they all talk to each other. So I totally agree. I do totally agree. I love Gallagher. Yeah, Gallagher's proved me wrong. I'm telling you that now. Big up to Giant. Players seem good before they come to Spurs, then they get sick now until they leave and go. Being back to being the plate. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. Um, Average to me, terrible, but agree. Agree. You rebuild. Yeah, you do. You do rebuild around him. I think United want him, so we would have no chance. I think. Look, I've been told by people, you know, the people we use tequila, that we're going to have a very busy summer in and out. Um, so we're going to have to wait and see, but we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, I know what time is it. Right, Vicario. Vicario has agreed personal terms. We did break this about a month ago, by the way. So I thought I'd just remind people. Vicario has agreed personal terms with Milan ahead of a potential summer move. The transfer is not yet completed. Inter still need to agree a fee with Tottenham Hotspur. Expected the fee is in the region of 20 to 25 million quid. He hasn't played yet. I don't think we will ever see Vicario on the Spurs shirt again. I think that's it. I think that's the last time we'll ever see him a Tottenham shirt. Um, um, so I don't think you'll see him in a Spurs shirt again. I am going to start at what you just said, Tequila. So I am going to get back to that. Yeah, Brian, we won't miss that. No, we won't miss Vicario. I'm going to start that as well, Tequila, as well. Where's it? Guys, if you can as well. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. If you can as well, do get over to JYS Talks Football as well, please. Hit a like and subscribe over there. This is from Ben Jacobs, from Mickey van der Ven. Um, you have a profile like Mickey van der Ven that Spurs really want to fight and keep if they go down. That's going to be very difficult. But I tell you something, if Tottenham stay up, my information is that Mickey van der Ven is extremely open to signing a new deal. And that, I think he will stay. I'm putting my neck on the line. He's 100% staying at Tottenham if we stay up. And then, but he has been linked with Liverpool and Manchester United have both been linked with Mickey van der Ven, with Tottenham expected to demand a huge fee if they consider selling the Dutchman. Yeah, around 60, 70 million, I think. Also, we've been linked with Marcus Rashford. Rashford continues to be linked with Tottenham as part of the, but I wouldn't be against this move. I know a lot of Man United fans were saying, "Take him off your hands, take him, take him, take him." I wouldn't be against it. I don't know what you think in the chat, guys, but I would not be really against this move. I think under De Zerbi, we might see the best of Rashford, and a really good Rashford is a dangerous Rashford, is a good player for Tottenham. Really do. Yeah, I can as well. But I just have faith in this manager that he'd be able to turn players around. But yeah, I wouldn't be against it. Really wouldn't. Really wouldn't. Yeah, I would too, Brian. I would love to see Rashford. I think he's a player. Once you get the right environment around him and the right structure in place, he's a player I think can be very dangerous. And I think he would love it at Tottenham. He really would. Now Tottenham could land a 200 million cash injection from the Lewis family for transfers. Now this was taken from an article on a website called Sport Muse. I will find the article and put it in the comment section for you lads to read. And there's a lot about it, but this little bit I found really interesting, and found it really, really interesting. And I didn't know what you guys would think. It goes on. It speaks a lot about the Lewis family and investment. Then it gets to this point. Now the problem with that is that if it does happen and they do stay up, they're going to have to through it with it, go through that. They're going to have to go through with it. The financial situation at Spurs is not great. I saw the other day that the Lewis family are going to be selling their art collection valued around 200 million. Now, we could take this with a pinch of salt, which probably should be taken as a pinch of salt. But if the Lewis family haven't got the money or the collateral to buy players and to invest in the club, then they need to get off the chair and sell the football club to people who are willing to put money into the football club. And this is the point. It's going to be a very, very interesting summer. Now, we could take this whole article with a pinch of salt. Probably could and probably should. But if you're an owner of a football club and you're struggling to find money to invest, then I think it's time to get out. I think it's time to sell the club. Personally, I think it's time to sell the football club. So it's going to be an interesting summer, one way or the other. What we do, who we sell, who we buy, and do we finally back a manager with the players he wants? It's going to be an interesting summer. It really is, guys. I've got a couple of star comments I want to talk about, and it says, "Do you not agree, Damo?" It's from Tequila. Do you not agree that Spurs are less attractive club to join in many years, so our starting position is poor? As I can remember, I don't see it as a less attractive club. I think we're still an attractive club. We have the fan base, we have the stadium, we have the history. We're still a massive club. We're still a big club. Just because we're fighting relegation doesn't make us anything any less a big club. Yeah, I think it's harder. I will agree that if you're a player and you look and you can go to Manchester United or you can go to Tottenham, you may choose Manchester United. But I do believe that if the right people are talking to the player to sell him a dream, to sell him the club, to sell him why he should come to Tottenham, then I think players will come. It's all about paying them. Tequila players are not interested in the history or the fans or the stadium. They're interested in the money. They're interested in what money they're going to get paid monthly or weekly, how much money they're going to make on how many goals they score, how much money they're going to make on appearances, how much money they're going to get. What's the whole package? And at this present time, Tottenham have not been playing the wages or the packages to get these players to come here. So it's down to the board now to say if they said what they said last summer, that we're going to make Tottenham great again, basically, and we're going to pay the players what they're worth, then they're going to have to go out and pay the wages that players want. Players will come. If you pay them the right money, they will come. If you don't pay them the right money, they're going to go where the best money is. And it doesn't really matter if you're Manchester United or you're Tottenham, whatever. Tottenham Hotspur will always be a massive club. And I'll always stand by that. And I'll always see that. But also, players are mercenaries. Players will go to the highest bidder. Players of the past wouldn't do that. Players of the past would look at the club's history. They would look at other aspects. But now it's all about the money. It's all about, just say for you example, right? I'm Tottenham, right? And Column's United. And I'm offering you so much £1,000 a week, but Column's offering you a better package. You're going to follow the money. You're not going to say, do you know what? I'm going to still play for Tottenham, but I'm going to play for 100 grand or 150 grand less. No, you're not. You're going to go for where the money is. So I think if we start paying the money and start playing what players want and give them the packages they want, then they may come to us. There may be a change. But until that happens, until we start paying players what they deserve and players the wages they want, then they won't come. It's as simple as that. Do you not think Villa? I don't think Villa are ahead of us right now. I don't think Newcastle are ahead of us. I know Villa are. But Newcastle are handicapped by the FFP rules. They're handicapped by what they can spend. They can't do a Man City. They can't. They're the richest club in the world, and they can't spend the money. Though this summer there is a rule, there is a loophole in the rule that Tottenham can spend anything up to 500 million and not get done by FFP. Now you may find that Tottenham may spend a lot more in this window because there's going to be no jeopardy or no points deductions or no no failure of doing that. They will get away with it. And it's all about paying money. Players are mercenaries now. They don't care about history. They care about the next money, the biggest paycheck. That's all they care about. Yeah, most of these clubs were paying much more than that. London is a true over. Yeah, it is. London, and nothing against I've been to Newcastle a few times, been to Birmingham too. Yeah, London is a draw. But it's all about that at the end of the day. It's all about money. It's all about the bigger wages. It's all about who's going to pay the bigger wages, who's going to pay the biggest signing on fee, who's going to pay the biggest appearance fee. So at the end of the day, um, it's all about who can pay the biggest lot. I think it's specified. They may well do. They may well sell. I'm still waiting for a massive update on what's happening. I think we may get shot come the end of the season. I don't know why, but I hope he does next season. And I know we're out there now trying to sign them a new contract, so let's hope so. And then they should have sold last year. Yeah, they should have done Giant, but I think they will this year. If they've got no money to spend on players, and that article is more or less on the money, which I will find the article, I will post it. Again, just let me do this. Put your links in, by the way, Tequila, for your gaming channel and your wrestling channel, please, if you can, bud. Yeah, please do that. Actually, Tequila, put your links in for you, and I'll bring them up in a minute. For your wrestling channel and your gaming channel, bud. So do that. We may see players we're not even aware. Yeah, with the World Cup as well in the summer is going to be interesting. There will be World Cup watch-alongs on this channel, guys. I am going to cover most of them. I'm not going to cover every game, but I'm going to cover the big games. We're going to cover all the Canada games. We're going to cover all the Scotland games. Yes, we are doing the England games as well. I will be doing England watch-alongs for you as well. And we're also going to pick a small club, team, country to follow. So, guys, that's down to you who we follow. So let me comment. Not Iran. I'm saying it now. We're not following Iran. I'm not getting into that political shite. Not following Iran. Anyone bar Iran. Yeah, Tequila, do put your link in, guy. Right, I need to bugger off because I'm on the Man United agenda in the 2 seconds. So look, that's Jess's channel. I'm sure Tequila will stick his channel. We are back tomorrow at 8 o'clock, of course, with the pre-match. Tomorrow night got a show tomorrow night. I'm sure Billy would turn up. I don't know why. Turn up tonight. I'm just gonna. No, that's okay. Yeah, there's Jess's one as well. There's the play pouch as well. Do go over there to the play pouch and do sub. I think there's some wrestling on at the weekend. So I'm not sure. I'm not a big wrestling fan, so I'm sure there is. There will be some gaming stuff over on Twitch. Over on Twitch and the Oh Boys Gaming. So do join me now. We'll be putting in the link. Give basic stuff. Okay, there's one. Okay, we do one of their games. Big up to Brian. Thank you. Listen, I'm gonna bounce out there. I've got to grab them. So follow me over to the United Agenda. Come in with THFC Raid. So I know it's you guys on that bombshell. Thank you all for watching. Come on, you Spurs. In Deserby we trust.